Joe Rogan experience.
This is something I wanted to talk to you about. Trump versus DeSantis in 2024. Who's the favorite? Who do you think wins?
I don't know. Do you think that happens? It seems like they're positioning that, right? Let's see. But wouldn't the ultimate be they combine forces? But if DeSantis thinks
never going to do that.
You don't think so?
No. Trump's ego, he would never team up. He's already been shitting on him for the past month.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say he's been shitting on him. I would say that he's been just saying what he expects. He was saying, look, I got this. I got this. DeSantis, you know, he's cute and everything. He's a new guy. And most of the people who are saying no, I think DeSantis will whoop his tail if he run. But Trump is just simply saying, nah, I'm that guy. He can, you know, continue to do his thing over there in Florida and or, you know, consider another part in office. But other than that, I'm going to be the one running.
DeSantis ain't ready.
You don't think he's ready?
I don't think he's ready.
I don't think he's ready either.
I think Trump got it.
I do too. But it's going to be very difficult cleaning up the middle. I think the moderates, the people in the middle, are going to need somebody fresh. I think they will vote for DeSantis more than they would for Trump, only because they've been made to think something about Trump.
I think Trump, his fan base is so loyal. Nah.
You look like
you gotta think us. Black people are getting on board with Trump. Like, we can't, like, if we got to choose between Trump and DeSantis, we definitely going to choose Trump because that's who we know. He's familiar to us.
You hear that? Yeah, I hear that. And plus, I don't think it helped with what DeSantis just now did. And I know it when he had, he stopped all of advanced placement, African-American culture teaching.
The AP African-American studies.
Yeah.
I think the media is gonna get the black people that they've been getting. You know what I'm saying? The ones they've been duping. I think those are the ones they're gonna do. But those black people really don't vote anyway. They don't even go vote. So nah, Trump got it.
Yeah, I think Trump got it too. But it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, but he shit on people before and brought them into the fold. Think about all the shit that he said to Ted Cruz and all those other people.
Yeah, but the difference is Ted Cruz cucked himself to Trump. So Ted bent the knee after a while. And what happened was, that was actually a really interesting story. So he went to the RNC and he said, vote your conscience, which basically was like, he wasn't endorsing Trump. He was saying, do whatever you want. I'm not endorsing him. Then he got a phone call from his billionaire donor daddy, Robert Mercer, I think his name is. And he was like, remember who you work for. And so Ted fell in line. And then he was phone banking for Trump with that Weasley face on, like, yeah, vote for Donald Trump. And so he fell in line. He fell in line. And so I don't think
DeSantis is not going to do that.
I mean, if he's smart, I don't think he would. Look, if you had a straight up race, just Trump versus DeSantis, I actually think DeSantis could win that. But the problem for DeSantis is this. There's already a bunch of other nobody cares about who are jumping in the race, who are going to get 2%, 3%. And that all comes out of DeSantis's numbers and not Trump's numbers. So if you have a race with 10 different Republicans, 9 of them are not Donald Trump. 9 of them are splitting the non-Donald Trump vote, and there's one Trump who can win with 29% of the vote or something like that, which is likely.
I understand what he's saying.
Okay, break it down to me because I'm a little bit confused.
I see that. So what he's saying is, to be the number one stunner, the head honcho to be running for the Republicans, you have to win amongst other Republicans. So when you look at the big names that will be on the ticket, you'll have Trump being the biggest name by far. Then you'll have DeSantis. Then you'll have 6 or 7 other people running for that Republican run so that they can be the ones to win. Some people, most of them know that they're not even going to be able to come close to winning, but they're still going to throw themselves in the hat. I mean, their hat in the ring. Like I heard, it was the last VP under Trump.
Oh, dang, I can't remember his name either. Hold on.
But he said that he's going to throw his. He said that he's considering running. So yeah,
we don't trust him no more.
Well, that's what they saying. They saying that he's considering running, and I know the Republicans aren't going to vote for him, but the rhinos will. There's a bunch of rhinos that's out there that will vote for him.
Yeah, you're right. The rhinos are definitely gonna vote for him.
Yeah, they definitely out there.
I can't think of his name. That's how unimportant he is. That's how unimportant a VP is. We don't even remember his name. That's so crazy. We cannot remember this man's name.
Can you stop reminding them because they
just like Nikki Haley, she seems like she's gonna run. She's a total donor creation. Nobody gives a fuck about her. She's been told by rich people, yeah, you're the one. Go ahead. She's going to get destroyed, right? But she runs. Mike Pompeo, he wants to run. John Bolton, like all these people are going to run. And then if you have all of them and DeSantis and Trump, you're handing it over to Trump. There are other Republicans who need to get in a room behind closed doors, talk it out, and say, look, we all have egos here, but we got to put it aside. And they should dole stuff out. DeSantis could say, all right, who wants to be Secretary of State? Who wants to be Vice President? Let's make a deal so I'm the only one running against him, because that's the only way they're going to take him down.
Do you think that's how it goes? What do you
I
think
don't,
happens?
because they don't have that level of organization. They don't, and you have a whole bunch of giant egos. So I think what's likely is they all run, and Trump wins with like 30% of the vote. Because, you know, it's first past the post voting. If he gets 30% and the closest to him is 21% or whatever, Trump wins.
And it's in the primary, so it's all registered Republicans.
Correct. Correct. So it's an interesting situation. And
I think it'll be a little tighter than what he's explaining, though. I think
you think it'll be how much percentage do you think it'll be?
To be honest with you, I think that Trump and DeSantis will be in like at least they'll be within like 4% of each other. Like everybody else, I think everybody else will be like drops in the bucket, but I believe DeSantis and Trump will be extremely close. Like Trump will probably have 40% of the votes, and DeSantis will have 36, and the other people who are who are running will pick up the other, you know.
I got you. That makes sense. That actually makes sense.
You know what I mean? That's how I think it will happen, because DeSantis' name is huge right now. Not only is he, according to everyone, he's a phenomenal governor in Florida. His family all look like they are ready for that whole life. They look like they are carbon copies of the family. Yeah, they just look like that family.
Right.
You know, so.
But I think Trump needs to come back for 4 more years, fix the economy, and then DeSantis can happen, because he's so young.
Yes.
He's so young. He's got plenty of time. I think Trump needs to come back for 4 more years, fix everything, and then DeSantis can come and just take us to the finish line. That's how I feel.
Somebody send this to DeSantis so he can be like, you know what, TT is right. I'm not gonna run yet. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna go ahead and wait. But you know, one thing that will piss me off, I hope, and I really hope that the Republicans do not play we need to have a minority on the ticket in order to win people over. If they do that, I'm gonna be pissed the hell off. Like, seriously, don't just grab no black woman and say that.
Or don't just grab any black man either.
Any black man.
Because we ain't got time for that. We like right now, I feel like our economy, our country, everything right now is in shambles. We need to focus on what's best for the country, whether you black, white, Asian, Jews, Gentile, Protestant. We need to be focused on the people in the United States of America at this point in time. And right now, I'm not seeing all the money that I was seeing on my paycheck 2-3 years ago. I need that money to come in. Like, this is crazy right now.
Yeah, you just said it all. I can't even say nothing to back that up. You said it all. She said it all. God dang it.
Crystal and I and Sagar as well, we've been having this debate back and forth, because there was a period there after the midterm loss where there were a bunch of polls showing DeSantis up comfy on Trump.
Yeah.
It was like DeSantis by double digits, right? And we were having the debate where I was like, no, I think DeSantis is the favorite. He is the favorite. But now, just recently, new 3 or 4 polls came out. Trump's back up double digits. And so it could be a heavyweight slugfest, but also I don't know if he has the balls to like jump right in and take him on. You know what I mean? Because he is the heir apparent. He is like Diet Donald Trump in a sense. So he might feel like if I just wait till 20.
He called him Diet Donald Trump. That's hilarious.
Such an insult. Do you hear me?
What he's doing is gaslighting. I'm whoever this guy is,
for sure.
He's gaslighting. Like, I don't think he have the balls. That's what he said first. I don't think he'd have the balls. And he said he is like a diet. He's gaslighting, man.
Oh no.
He's gas. He want to see some drama.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what he's doing. Oh, I see. Who the hell is this? This dude is really trying to start something, man.
He is trying to start something.
He really is.
I could probably win it, but his moment is now, right? Because in the midterms, the candidates that were most Trumpy were the ones who lost. So Carrie Lake, she was denying the election left and right. She was one of Trump's favorites. She lost.
Okay. But did
Not
she
Trumpy.
Huh?
Not Trumpy.
Yeah, he
What's
said
up with all
Trumpy.
these nicknames and all? Like he's just calling people names and
Exactly. But he's a gaslighter. He's a super gaslighter. This dude, he said, but then he said Curry Lake lost. And I said, not really. I said, I'm not even going to say anything about that.
We can't even speak on that on this platform, but we know what time
I don't believe him.
with that.
Trumpy. He just called you Trumpy.
Trumpy. I'm a Trumpy honey, proud honey. Proud to be a Trumpy honey. I got the stickers on the back of my Volvo right now. The stickers.
Oh my gracious.
I got the Let's Go Brandon on the back of my Volvo right now. I ain't playing with these people.
Doug Mastriano ran for governor in Pennsylvania. He lost, and he was at January 6th. He was a big-time election denier. Like all the election deniers, all the ones who really cuddled up to Trump, those are the ones who lost. The more like old-school Republicans like Kemp in Georgia, and he's a guy who said to Trump, remember Trump said, find me 11,000 votes after 2020?
Yes.
That's the guy who was like, no, I'm not going to do that. And that guy won his election easy in Georgia. So basically the more non-Trump Republicans did better. And so, there's a real weakness there. And he was siloed off on Truth Social for a while. He wasn't he sort of lost his normie touch a little bit. You know what I mean? He was getting too wacky. And so DeSantis was the heir apparent, but now things are changing.
Do you think that Trump comes back to all those social media platforms? Like, what is I read something about his deal with Truth Social that it might be up soon.
Oh, if that's true, that's interesting. I did read that he's planning on coming back to both Facebook and Twitter. I did read that. But to your point, yeah, my understanding was he had a deal with Truth Social. The whole value of the company is tied to Trump being on it.
Exactly.
And so if he pulls out of that, he's pissing off a lot of people who invested a lot of money in that company, which, he's done shit like that in the past, so I don't see why he wouldn't do it now. But look, he kind of needs it. He needs to be back on Twitter. He needs to be back on Facebook.
Right, because if he's on Twitter, that's where people are going to go.
DeSantis. So
why does he need to be on social media when every social media platform, every blog, every news outlet is Trump? Everything Trump says, they post. Everything Trump does, they post. So it's crazy to me that they feel like Trump needs to be. He don't need to be on Twitter because Twitter's constantly talking about him. True. Constantly, he lives rent free on every social media platform, including YouTube.
True.
So no, he doesn't need social media. They've been talking about this man. We have been talking about this man. He's not even president anymore. We talk about Trump more than we talk about the current president, which is so weird to me. It makes no sense.
That is true. And I would also say, as a content creator, we love putting Trump name on a title because they get a lot of views.
It gets them clicks and views, really. And I think that's why every platform talks about him. Like every platform, he is the main topic.
Yeah. I do know. Reason? Well, I do know this though. When he did decide to start, when people just now decide to start circulating his last bit of speeches he's been giving, and I've been seeing him a great deal on YouTube, mostly, not Twitter. I'm not on Twitter all like that, but on YouTube mainly. That does have something to do with people's psychology, like even the people who are not on his side, they probably they're not following him to Truth Social. So they don't know that he's still out and about and speaking up and all that other stuff. If it's not on their algorithm, they're not following him. But when they see him standing up boldly, talking about the current administration, talking about this, that, and the third, and these videos are starting to be primarily on the major platforms that's not Truth Social, more eyes are starting to see him and understand that, hey, maybe this guy is not an idiot, because we don't like Biden either, but we want to hear what he has to say. And when they listen to him, they're like, yo, maybe he will be better than DeSantis, and that might have something to do with it. But like you said before, he don't need any of these platforms because he's bigger than that already. People are already talking about him like crazy. They can't get enough of him, even when he's not saying anything. He
became president.
Facts. But people are thirsty. People are hungry. I'm talking about the people out there that just need him for some type of survival. Like, we need Trump to say something, because that's the only time CNN is really newsworthy, when Trump is out. They need him to say something so they can talk about him for a week. Okay, please say something else. That's
right. You are absolutely right.
Yeah,
it's so strange.
They are strange as hell. That's why I don't really like politicians too much, but that's neither here nor there.
You were also a fan of Bernie?
Yes.
And they're like polar opposites in terms of the rest of their policies?
I'm a fan of him for different reasons.
Right, yeah.
You know?
But I know you said that you thought he would make a good president, and there's a bunch of things about him that I think would probably change your opinion on it. Like, for example, he thinks weed should stay illegal because it smells bad.
Is that really his opinion, that it smells bad?
He said it
Does
smells,
he not know about edibles?
Quote, putrid, and he wants it to stay banned because of that.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Is that really his rationalization?
Jamie, if you want, you could pull that up.
Yeah, that's what it says here. But it's legal in Florida, or medically.
It says marijuana should remain criminalized because of its putrid odor. Polling compiled by the University of North Florida showed that most Floridians want the adult use of marijuana to be legal in the Sunshine State. That's certainly not the case. In fact, under state law, the possession of up to 20 grams of cannabis is punished by a $1,000 fine and up to a year in prison.
Oh, hell no. Y'all can't vote for DeSantis.
No. See? You see what I'm talking about? We ain't got time. No, we ain't got time for this. No.
Hell no, man.
No.
Nah, I can't vote for that guy. I'm sorry, guys.
We can't vote for that. We can't vote for that. No.
And you knew that he was going. He knew that he was going to get Joe Rogan's attention with that because Joe Rogan loved the weed. He loved him some weed.
I do too. What are you talking about? No, we cannot get no. Why would we do that? You know, there's people that suffer from anxiety and all types of ailments. They need that. The smell.
Yeah, I don't think he's been around it enough to really know anything about the odor.
He probably just needs to smoke him some, and then maybe. You know,
I think so because anybody who smoke or anybody who's around it, after probably like 5 to 15 minutes, you build something called olfactory fatigue, and you stop really smelling it because you've been around it for so long, but the smell is still in the air. But you know what I mean. And then you start to not only smell it, but you start to feel some of the effects. Yeah, so it's natural.
What we used to call it back in the day, a contact high.
A contact high. See, that's all I used to get when I used to be in the studio, but like, because I didn't smoke.
Giggling and laughing and got the munchies and don't understand why, right?
Start getting all deep and having high thoughts, man. What?
Yes.
Oh my gracious! Writing books and stuff called A Murder Soul.
Don't even do me. Don't do me. I wasn't even high look.
Possession of greater amounts is a felony. So what has he said? What I don't like about it is if you go to some of these places that have done it, the stench when you're out there, I mean, it smells so putrid.
Oh, man.
I want people to be able to breathe freely. Well, that's silly.
We need to ban cigarettes.
That's also
what'd you say?
We need to ban cigarettes.
Yeah, we need to ban cigarettes. That's what we need to ban. And look, if I'm disrespecting anybody out there by saying that we need to ban cigarettes, that's your business. Because cigarettes
that's the worst smell. That's the worst smell. Like I had some people working in my basement and I'm upstairs. Somebody lit a cigarette. It smelled like my house was on fire.
Oh my gracious.
It was so bad. Like I should not have smelled that throughout my house. Like cigarettes, no, that's the worst smell ever.
Yeah, that's facts. And if you're ever going to anyone, if you're ever going to smoke anything inside of the home, please go to the top floor. That way, the smoke flows up.
First of all, don't smoke in my house, period, because I flipped out. No, sir. You working on my house and you being paid to work in here. You need to go outside and have your cigarette break and don't have too many. Okay. The world.
Listen. Let me tell you something. Hold on, before we go on. You can't be showing these people the angry black woman side. You can't show them that.
I am not an angry black woman. I'm just passionate.
She's passionate.
There's nothing angry about it, honey. See this big old smile?
See that? See, that's passion.
This ain't angry. This is passion.
Like I want to know the context. I mean, that's a quote.
Yeah, I want to know context too.
The smell of marijuana.
That will help.
DeSantis demurs on marijuana legalization, but can't stand the dank stank. Well, okay, you don't have to like the smell. You know, I mean, that doesn't necessarily mean that's why he wants it illegal. He just doesn't like the smell. A lot of people don't like the smell.
Yeah.
But it's not legal there recreationally, right?
No, not yet.
No?
No.
It's
not legal here either.
Would he sign the bill is the question, you know? And it seems to me like he would, because he's a social conservative by and large, you know? Like, that's his perspective. Another one is they had a vote in Florida, a direct vote on raising the minimum wage during the 2020 election. And so Trump won the state, but 60% of Florida voters voted for a minimum wage increase. They wanted to make it 15. And leading into that, DeSantis said, don't do that. I'm against doing that.
Did he have a rationalization?
That's a good question. I like when Joe Rogan is having these questions with people. I mean, having these conversations with people, because two things just now happened. The young man told him he would, he's already telling people that he want to criminalize marijuana. Now, with him painting it that way, you will automatically assume that he backs it legally, or he's trying to get some bill pushed where he will sign it. But it was all speculation when Joe Rogan said, so I'm gonna need more context into this, because it got to be some more information. This is just a quote. It does not say that he will criminalize marijuana. And now he's talking about something different, and the young man he's still like, no, I need to know more of how where he stands. I like that. That's grown up thinking right there.
Right.
Don't
we need all the facts.
Need all the facts. See, a lot of people just jump to the headlines and make their decision that way. He's just like, no, we need more information. I like that. That's some grown up stuff, man. Shout out to Joe Rogan for that.
Right.
And you would think that the weed head would not be the most rational one on the show.
Right. Thank you.
See that? Hopefully y'all learning something. Talking about.
I mean, I didn't see if he did, but just the fact he's against it was a strike against him in my mind. But the voters voted for it, and that is the law. So, because they had the direct vote, and I don't know if he has any legal recourse, so it's becoming law, but he told them don't vote for it. So that was a big issue. Because I know you're a fan of legal weed, you're a fan of raising the minimum wage.
Yeah.
He's also a big Wall Street guy. I mean, a lot of these Republicans, you don't have to look too far under the surface to find out they're all playing the same game. He took $20 million from Wall Street. He did $5.7 billion in tax cuts and giveaways to corporations. Apparently, 99% of companies in Florida pay no corporate income tax. So it's one of the states that corporations go to sort of, it's a field day over there. And remember, he was feuding with Disney. Remember when he was feuding with Disney? And he was like, you guys are woke and this has got to stop. But he let them keep a $578 million tax break at the same time. And at that same time, he also did a $1 billion tax hike on regular Floridians with a new sales tax.
Well, the amount of business that Disney must be bringing into Florida is insane.
Right.
I mean, they own Orlando.
Which is all the reason they don't need more of a subsidy, right? Like, let them fuck it. They'll be able to swim. They're not going to sink. Like, let them be.
What do you think that is? Do you think there's just some financial chicanery, some behind the scenes?
I think if you're the governor of Florida and you know how big Disney is, you might talk a game every now and then of like, we don't like these guys or whatever. They're too woke. But when push comes to shove,
I don't remember what that was
in
regard to, the woke thing. I don't recall. It was a very specific instance.
Yeah, I don't either. I don't remember it either. But he had a big fight with them, but ultimately he gave them their tax break. And then the other thing is, so there's a big sugarcane industry in Florida, and they lead to a lot of pollution because they do these things called burn fields.
So what's this guy doing? Is he just pointing out all the different things that that DeSantis has done or is doing, or certain things that might be frowned upon in the eyes of Republicans, or what exactly is his point of bringing up all these things?
I think that's exactly what he's doing. I think he's trying to sway a little bit like our opinions about DeSantis by bringing up all of the things that like the marijuana situation, the sugarcane situation. Like I think he's trying to sway our opinions a little bit, but it's not gonna work. I think that the people that like DeSantis, the people that like Trump, and it is what it is.
It's just that. And hopefully they aren't the type of voters I do not like. That's the type of voters that cry and pout when their person is not elected, and then they decide to vote for the other side just to spite and they don't even care how it affects them, how it affects everybody else. Exactly.
That's weird to me. That's weird.
Like that's the dumbest thing ever. Like a lot of people just did that with Biden and Trump. They didn't vote for Biden. They voted against Trump. That's like the dumbest thing in the
That's
world.
so
But
stupid. You ever seen the videos of the females that they got into a car accident and because you hit my car, I'm gonna hit your car harder, and now my bumper is in the middle of the street and my tire is flat. That's so weird.
It's dumb as hell.
That's so weird.
It's
dumb.
Just
like the protesters that burn down their own community. Like, why would you burn down the store near your house, the Walmart near your house, and you know the closest Walmart is 5 miles away? Like, why would you do? And you know, ain't nobody in your neighborhood got no car. That's stupid. That's dumb. But that's what he's talking. That's what he's talking about, and that's actually what he's trying to do. Actually.
And you're understanding. See, this is the part right here, because I'm like the young guy seems like he's cool. I don't know him. I can't judge him. I don't know what I don't know what he's about, but I do see the game. It's like a game that he's playing. Okay, what about this part right here?
You peeping the game.
Yeah, absolutely. I see it. Wow, man, this is something else. Okay, all right, because this all right. Okay, the 2024 election outlook. Okay,
fields. Is part of like the process involved with the sugarcane. And he came in and shielded them from any legal accountability. So people can't sue them over that. Yeah, so, and the Florida Republican Party took a $350,000 contribution from the sugarcane industry, and then in turn he protected them from legal liability.
And when you're saying pollution, there's particulates in the atmosphere because of the burning?
Yeah, they say that because of those sugarcane burn fields, there's increased risk of cancer and red tide. Have you ever heard of red tide in Florida?
That's the ocean red tide?
Yeah, there's some weird ocean red tide thing. Apparently the burning of the sugarcane helps lead to that as well, along with, like you said, the particulate matter, which could lead to cancer.
Wow.
The burning of it, that's like a common agricultural approach, right? Where they do that to sort of revigorize that's not a word, but reinvigorate the soil, right? The topsoil. Is that what they're doing?
I mean, there's some industrial reason why they do it, but I think there was conversation around, hey, we got to regulate this. We have to make it we got to lower the cancer rate. We got to lower the red tide. We got to figure this out.
And there's a direct correlation between those burns and cancer instances.
Yeah, there's a lot of health problems around those things. Yeah. Yeah. So he's quite the opposite of Bernie. I think he's an establishment Republican who's good at PR, basically. I think he's positioned himself. So there's two parts of politics. There's politics and there's policy. On the politics front, I think he's actually plotted his way around brilliantly, where, he is the heir apparent to Donald Trump, and there's a chance he could even beat Donald Trump in a Republican primary. And honestly, I think any Democrat should fear him over Trump in a general election. I think even half-dead Joe Biden can defeat Trump again, given
really?
that I do. Yeah.
Okay, this youngin has no credibility.
Yeah, he is totally out of touch. Yeah. Not half dead Joe Biden. No. Joe Biden can't beat nobody at this point. I can run against Joe Biden and win, honestly. I can run against that man and win. If we vote Joe Biden back, if we vote him back into office, America we're done. Like, we are the slowest and the most ignorant country in the world. If we do that again, like, no, that's never gonna happen again. Like, if we do that again, they'll definitely have to do what they did, few years ago.
You think so?
Yeah, they'll have to do what they did a few years ago in order for that to happen again. Honestly.
Oh my gracious! Let's see.
Can I ask you a question real quick?
Go ahead.
Did you watch the results live?
The live results?
Live. Did you and your wife stay up to watch that live to see those numbers and what happened to those numbers and what was happening in real time?
I was watching, but then I stopped for a long time. I started doing work and stuff. I wasn't watching.
We watched the entire we saw things getting reversed. My husband was like, turn the TV off, let's just go to bed, because at the end of the day, like, we saw what was happening. We was like, wow. What? Yeah, we saw it in real time. Like, we stayed up until like 5 o'clock in the morning watching it.
Oh my gracious.
Yeah, we saw what happened. So when somebody says that's not what happened, you can't tell me what I saw with my own 2 eyes. I seen things getting flipped around, numbers getting flipped around real time. Like, seriously.
Alleged, everyone. Alleged.
Allegedly, but I saw it for real. I saw it for real, like I did. So what he's talking about, yeah, it would literally what happened a few years ago. That would have to happen again. I feel like they would have to do that same thing again.
If it happened once, it'll happen again. And
oh yeah, my husband don't have no faith no more. Like his first time voting was voting for Trump. That was his first time ever voting.
Get out of here.
Yep, that was his first time ever voting.
And he felt like his first vote was just wasted.
And so he's like, he doesn't even want to vote. Like I made him vote in our local elections because I was explaining to him that that's pretty much the most important because it affects us personally. It affects our property taxes. It affects all of that. So he voted for the first time again in our local elections in 2022. So, the people that voted for the first time that saw what happened, it's like they feel like their votes don't count. But I feel like our votes do count. I still feel like my vote counted.
That's heavy, man. That's heavy. I hope that people ain't playing with. See, I want to believe in the system. I want to believe that people can be fair, but I just don't. I don't believe it. That's not going to stop me from voting. But at the end of the day, it's like I don't know, man. It's just far too much trickery going on. It's everybody's picking their teams and just being spoiled and. I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me, but
you use the right word, trickery. I agree. Trickery.
Is a whole bunch of that. God dang. But this guy with him saying what he's saying right now, like if Trump was to run, if Joe Biden was to run again and he's running against Trump, he'll beat him. That's bullshit, honey. If that happens,
he didn't win the first time.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Yeah, I don't even know what that would probably be the most people would hear me probably out of character on my videos if that happens.
I'm with you.